So let's face it, gone are the days of just having one camera bag that fits all of your daily needs, no matter what the situation is that you arise in. Things aren't what they used to be, and your role changes daily, and so should your gear and what you need to bring. Sometimes you're going to need to bring your full setup: cameras, lighting, equipment, gaffing gear, grip, everything. Other times you might just need to show up and have a couple of tools just in case you get called on to do something. So I'm going to show you how my camera bag changes depending on the day and what the workload is that I'm going to be doing, and this might just help you figure out what kind of setups you need so that you're not lugging around a bunch of equipment and gear you don't need, and you have the right bag and the right EDC for your particular needs. So in this video, I'm going to go over my everyday camera bag as it changes depending upon my task for that day, as well as my EDC that's going to go into that bag as well, and how I've kind of toned it down and made it as compact as I can, as well as versatile, and just being able to carry over a lot of these things into different bags. First up, this has been my go-to bag for years. This is the Wandrd Prvke bag. I had the first gen, which was great. I used it for travel. I took it all around the world. And then I had to get this one because the zippers on my other one ended up busting. Other than that, the bag is in fantastic shape. I'm not gonna go into a lot of detail on this bag because everybody goes over there what's in my camera bag setup. If you want to see something on this, I'll put together something later. But really what I'm going to go over is what carries over from this into my smaller setups on a daily basis. This is primarily my travel bag, or when I have a big project that I'm not taking a bunch of Pelicans or a full truckload of gear for. This is the Camera Cube by Alpaka. What's great about this is I can fit this into a lot of different scenarios. So first of all, if we just open this up, this is actually very similar to the Wandrd style as far as they have these hard dividers with foam that Velcro in. I much prefer these over the thick foam ones that just never seem to work for me. So in here on any given day, I can pack in, this is the old XT2, old reliable, still shoot a lot of stills and sometimes video with this if I want something really just compact and simple. And then I still have plenty of room for whatever film camera I'm working on, putting together a video for, or shooting that day, as well as any extra lenses, anything like that. And if I absolutely need to, there is a little bit of space up here. So I can put in, if I need any extra SD or CF cards, I can have that there. Charging cables, any of that kind of stuff. Wallet, phone, if I don't want any of that on me. This is gonna be something I carry with me if I'm working on a small project or if I'm just working on gathering content, because it forces me to consolidate and just take what I need. An added benefit to this is these straps pop right off, and this camera cube pops right into my Pelican with the same dividers, and then I still have room for additional lenses or anything like that on the side, filters, all that kind of stuff. This would also fit into my Wandrd Prvke. The only issue with that is you wouldn't have the side access to get a camera out of the side of it, which isn't a huge deal for me because I don't really use it a lot. That tends to be kind of a hassle for me, depending on how much I have in the bag. Plus, it doesn't really look like a camera bag either. It's just a big cube. If you wanted to hook a lock through here or something, you could. Now, what's next is if perhaps I'm DPing for a shoot and I don't need my camera gear. We're renting camera gear, we have a camera op, or that's all being taken care of on set, or maybe I am just working on a project that day and maybe I'm helping gaff or grip or something like that and I just need some essentials. Maybe I have a half day where half the day I'll be working on a shoot or helping set up and the other half I'll be editing. This is essentially just a sling bag. This is also by Alpaka. This is the Tech Case. There's the Tech Case Mini and the Tech Case Max, depending upon what kind of size or what kind of space you need. This is kind of become the main bag that I carry around because I can just put everything I need into this and not have to worry about all the bigger bags, just for where I'm at right now as far as shooting and filming and editing and all that kind of stuff. So let's go over my EDC and what's in this bag, which kind of will partially be in those depending on the day, and we'll carry on and get smaller, more compact throughout the rest of what we have here. I always try to keep a notebook on me when working with a client or just in general walking around if I need to take notes. It's much better to do it with this because if I start doing it on my phone, you always get distracted and you end up never taking the notes, or you forget what the notes were in the first place. And if you're working with a client, if you're taking notes on something like this, it looks a lot more like you're paying attention as opposed to if you get on your cell phone. This is the Big Ideas mini pen. I opted for the brass because I like the look. It's going to get a nice patina to it. The only thing I don't like about this is looking back, I wish it had a clip, just because I can clip it anywhere then. I don't have a clip, so it makes it a little bit more difficult, a little bit easier to use. It's got a little lanyard, which is nice. Super easy to replace the ink cartridges. It comes with a few extras. Next to that, we have storage. So, and here is the SanDisk 2 terabyte SSD. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. Did you not see all the videos about these things dying? This is a little bit older. Those were the 4 terabyte, I believe, that were just all of a sudden dying out of nowhere. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I need to upgrade this eventually, but I don't want to get one of those and have that issue. So this 2 terabyte can fit most of my projects on it. This is kind of my daily work SSD, and then I'll bring it back home whenever the project's done, and I can transfer it over to my Synology workstation. The 2 terabyte usually holds whatever assets I need and project, unless it's an absolutely massive project. So this just slides right in here. Love how compact and simple it is. And then a cable goes with it, of course. Camera-wise for this setup has varied lately, but I always try and keep a camera on me. So right now in here, I have the Minox 35EL, which is just a fold-out little point-and-shoot. Well, not so much point-and-shoot. You choose your focus and you choose your f-stop. Camera will pick your shutter speed, and yeah, it's got your ISO on the bottom. Cool little compact camera, and this just folds up. Space saver. Right now I'm rotating between this and the Rollei 35. Have been my go-to lately. Super compact, minimal, and they both fit in here really easily in this little side compartment. Wallet. I am currently using the Grip6 Wallet, which I have mixed feelings about. It works really well, don't get me wrong, it's great. I wish it could hold more cards. And then I didn't want to get something with elastic because that wears out over time, so I got the leather grip, which just adds a lot of bulk to it. I may switch to the Ridge to get more card space and then just use the elastic to store cash and IDs on the outside. In addition to my pen, I usually carry a Sharpie or two just for going over scripts or shot lists and just make sure I'm on top of my list if we're not doing it digitally. These are great. So this is just pretty much just a pill holder. Personally, this is what holds my batteries for whatever cameras and things that I'm using. Another option that I've done is I've 3D printed different size daily carry little packages here for batteries or anything like that. I'm probably gonna have people give me a hard time for this, but I don't care. Yes, I'm using wired headphones in 2024. Why? Because I don't really ever use them. So I don't want to go spend $400 on AirPods or anything if I'm not going to use it regularly. I don't really listen to music on that. Working at a computer, obviously you normally have the big headphones on to kind of block everything out. I don't need it for my car. For phone calls, I always try and have these. And then airplanes, these are always what's going to work no matter what whenever I'm traveling. And like I said, I use them so infrequently. Just doesn't make sense, so I just pop these into one of these little side pockets. Next up, I hate keys. I hate carrying keys. I hate keys in my pocket, so I try to avoid that at all cost. This is my vehicle key. Now this is just a Keyfob aftermarket by Meso Customs. It came with the typical one with the key that sticks out. I hated that. I don't like that. House keys, I don't really carry around my house keys ever. If I do, I just have this leather lanyard I've had forever with a clip. Lens wipes, because as a photographer, filmmaker, anything like that, I wear glasses if I'm not wearing contacts to keep all that stuff clean because it constantly gets dirty. After camera, if I need more film, I just 3D printed this. This is a very simple 2 cartridge case for 35mm. If I need an extra roll or two, if I want to take black and white and color, I can pop both those in here. Now moving along to the tools of the EDC section. First up for the knife. Now this rotates between a few. Right now this is the ATCF Tactical. This is a Nitro V blade with G10 scales. I can of course back flip it there, I can thumb flip it, and then of course I can front flip and then Spidey flick it as well. So that's cool. This has been a good knife. I like it. It feels a little thin even though it's not, but it's got a nice thumb grip there. If it's not this knife, what I've been carrying on me personally, the Knafs Lander, an awesome budget knife. The action on this is just buttery smooth. This is the green micarta scales. Both of these can be carried left or right. The only thing I don't like about the ATCF Tactical is the clip on this is kind of thin, which makes it rather difficult to get into the pocket sometimes. I might try and bend it up a little bit and get that situated to make it a little bit easier. It's much smoother. I think this is ceramic ball bearings for the action. Button switch, so you can front flip, you can Spidey flick it. This is also a good budget knife. You can beat the crap out of this thing and it's gonna work just fine. Multi-tool. Now for the multi-tool, again, we're trying to stay compact, very simple, clean. I'm using the Sog PowerPint miniature version of, whatever Leatherman, but the reason I went with this is because I get nice pliers here. Pretty good for how small this thing is. I mean, when you put this side by side with the Lander, smaller in size than that knife. Also, it has on the back side a spot for bits, so you can use whatever normal bits you want with this little thing. So I usually keep file with whatever bits I need for cameras, a flathead, Phillips, all that kind of stuff, just in the side compartment next to this. This is awesome. But this is going to do most of what I need that you could do with a bigger Leatherman, for the most part, at least for my circumstances. I have mixed feelings about this, so I'm not sure whether this is going to stay. This is a flashlight slash laser slash UV light. So I looked at the Streamlight wedge and the Olight arc field. The wedge is great, but I also kind of wanted a laser. So I looked at the Olight arc field. The Olight arc field was great, and I was going to get that one, but the only reason I didn't is because I hate the fact that it is charged via magnet. Because then if I forget that cable or don't know where the cable is, it's done for. If the battery's not there, then it's done and I can't use it, so it doesn't matter. This is USB chargeable, so I can charge this with any USB-C cable. So what's weird about this is the fact that on the front side, you have your flashlight, which has a bunch of different settings, strobe, all that kind of stuff, and then you have your COB work light there, magnets on this side here. On the back, you have your UV and laser. I don't like that part. If I double tap, that is going to give me my laser. Because if I accidentally double click or something here with the light forward, then what if I just laser myself in the face? Never good. So it is a little big, but I like how many options it has to it. So this is a great all-around work light, super powerful. I think it's 1,000 lumens. We'll see if it stays. It's a random no-name brand called a T&H Town and Homes, or I'll link it down below. And that wraps up what goes in this sling bag. Front facing, so if I need to get in access to it, I need to grab something out of it, it's right here in front of me. If I don't need it, I can sling it around back. This is a bag I didn't think I would ever really wear, but now that I have it, now that I've been using it, Alpaka did a great job with all the different compartments and spacing for this, which has made it really practical. It fits everything I need for my EDC on a regular basis. It works just like the backpack does. I just unclip these, I don't have to worry about it. I put a little lanyard down here so that if I need to put gaff tape or anything else like that, I can just string that all down here. When I was looking for solutions, I came across Alpaka, and I actually reached out to them because after looking at their entire line of products and bags and things, I thought what they had kind of fit what I was looking for across the board, from long-term carry solutions for travel all the way down to just your daily simple stuff. But I chose them just because I thought they fit what I was looking for best. So there will be a discount code below, and links of course to all this will be down there as well. The last thing I forgot to mention is this. This is something new. I don't necessarily carry this every day, but this is just a simple timer. Set this on my desk, I adjust the time to however long if I want to work for, 30 minutes or something on a project. I can just set it to 30, press it, and it's going to start a timer. You can do it with your phone, but then you're on your phone and who knows how long you'll be on your phone for. You get distracted, you don't do it, and you're not actually working. So with this, I can set a timer to stay focused, and so far I like it. If I know I'm just going to be sitting at my desk editing all day long, maybe I'll go into the studio and work on something very minimal, but I don't need anything at all. That's where this last bag comes in. This is just a simple EDC pouch to carry whatever I need in for that particular day. Not super big, but a lot of stuff will transfer over. If I want to put my notebook here in the front, I can pop it in there in the front there. On the back, it has 2 slots, so usually I'll put my knife and then my utility tool in here just for easier access, because I don't want to be unzipping this for the million times I use a knife throughout the day, cutting things open. Or I actually put all 3 of these into just a Velcro little removable strap, and I can just pop that on the front here, which is partially why I got this, because it has the Velcro. So if I want to just throw that on there, then I can keep going about what I'm doing, and I save all the space that's inside. And this will also go into my day bag by Alpaka, the little camera cube. This can go into my backpack, anything, latch on the back. So if I want to put a carabiner on here to throw around a sling or anything like that, if I need extra SD, CF cards, anything like that, I'll also throw a roll of film in here, and then whatever camera I'm doing, I'll just have strapped around me for that day, if I have one at all. This is something that goes in just about every one of my bags. This is a coin from Sweden, Norway. If you shoot film, you know that most cameras require some sort of coin to open up to replace the batteries. Lens cloth, again. If I don't have my other knives on me, a little Swiss Army with, you know, tweezers, scissors, knife, file, all that kind of stuff. Never hurts to have one of those around. I can throw in my hard drive into this and have that as well. So that wraps up my EDC for whatever the day might bring. So hopefully that helped you figure out what your EDC and camera setup needs to be, depending upon the various situations and jobs you will have coming up. If you have questions about anything I've talked about, be sure to leave that in the comments. I will list in the description links to everything that we've discussed, but that is going to wrap up this video.